Do you want to win one of these awesome shirts?
Stick around to the end of the video and we'll let you know how you can do it. Roll the intro.
Welcome back to Season 3 of After the Midnight.
Today we're going to be going through track 1 off of Nocturnal by the Midnight, Shadows.
Starting us out with some awesome environment sounds there. It brings us into this new world they've created.
Yep.
That bass sense there.
City carved a silhouette on the ocean after dark, over the lonely and the holy and the red blood beating hearts. Up from the dirty black water, a shadow void of form raised itself out of the river, and it climbed upon the shore.
I love everything we've gotten so far in this song in terms of the textures that Tim built and Tyler's lyrics really place you in the city.
Neon on the blacktop, there's a gentle rain downtown, a shadow pooling underneath me as it follows on the ground. Kissed you when I saw you, stared deep into your eyes. I meant to say I love you, but instead I said goodbye.
I like how he has like 2 verses there before we even hear the chorus.
Shadows in the city, I'm a stranger to myself. On these streets I'm someone else. Shadows in the city, like a demon in the dark, come to tear us apart. All my good intentions, there's a shadow in the dark. It comes to me infrequently and breaks your perfect heart. I don't know why I do it, apologize, but it's too late. A single tear and you leave me here and the shadow slips away.
I love this build-up of sense that he does throughout the song.
Me too.
Shadows in the city, I'm a stranger to myself. On these streets I'm someone else.
I love how we get this pre-chorus that you don't really realize is that, and then Tim's building in the back, and then we just get the famous drop. That's the lovely Mr. Thomas Eadinger.
Gonna hear him a lot on this album. Low pass filter fade out here. So good.
Amazing.
What a way to start off an awesome album.
Yep. Never get sick of hearing Shadows. I've heard it hundreds of times, and it's just such a banger of a song and a great way to start this album.
It's a much darker mood. I mean, we're coming off Endless Summer, which Tim has explained is really an album like that you play during sunset, and I feel like this is right after that.
I mean, if even if you look at the last few tracks on Endless Summer, it's almost like we were getting that little preview going into this. And yeah, now it's really cool how Tim opens it all up with kind of the Foley type effects where he built the texture of the city and of course the footsteps and
police siren.
Yeah, just very much feels like a scary beginning. It just makes you feel uneasy, and it works really well. Yeah, I love some of the lyrics.
Yeah, on the surface, whenever you listen to the song, it's almost like, you know, just about a city drive, you know, darkness. But once you dig deeper, I think, at least for me, I realize it's about like the inner demons inside you and how they can affect your happiness. For instance, the line that Tyler says,
I meant to say I love you, but instead I said goodbye.
You know, he wanted to say this, but something inside of him like took over him and he had to say goodbye. And the shadow is this demon, and
I don't know how I do it, I apologize, but it's too late. A single tear and you leave me here, and the shadow slips away.
He gets left, and then this shadow inside him goes away, like the thing that was making him sabotage the relationship. I don't know if that's how you interpret it as well.
Yeah, so it definitely feels like the inner, you know, the fight between light and darkness inside of all of us. And the more I think about it, I'm a stranger to myself. On these streets, I'm someone else. It kind of, yeah. That's awesome. I'm gonna definitely look at the song differently because I'm always just so enamored with the descriptive stuff that he's got going on, and so taken aback by everything else that's happening that I've never really dug super deep. But that's cool. I love that inner struggle. Good observation.
Yeah, I think that's the brilliance of Tyler here, because you can take it both ways. You know, he's so visual with his lyrics, like you were saying. You know, you think of a city, you think of night, you think of shadows, you think of neon signs, and if you want to dig deeper, and you can, then you can take other meaning with it.
Yeah, totally. I also just like from the literal side of things, I'm such a fan of 80s horror movies and horror movies in general, and some of the lyrics that I love are like,
up from the dirty black water, a shadow void of form raised itself out of the river, and it climbed upon the shore.
That just feels very much like a John Carpenter, Clive Barker type of something you'd see from the 80s, like just a formless, shapeless monster that's out to get you. And I love that. And I love the callback to all of those types of movies that are in this type of setting. So
let's listen to this clip here where Tim paints that picture a little bit.
Cool.
If we take Shadows, for example, one of our songs, that was very much a vibe of I wanted to create something that felt like kind of like the beginning of a horror movie. sort of setting a tone like this, something's off here, which is why I added the footsteps and stuff. But I remember playing that intro for Tyler, and he sort of, that set the tone. I was like, well, this is the mood I want to play around with. What do you think about that? And obviously, sometimes Tyler's like, it's not giving me anything. Cool, moving on. But in that case, he was like, oh, let's play with this. And then it's sort of just usually me leaving Tyler for an hour and kind of letting him, gestate over all his like thousands of little notes, and he'll find something, and that'll be the seed, and then sort of we take it from there.
I love the intention that Tim and Tyler go into when they create an album.
To go into a room for an hour and then come out with some of these lyrics, they vibed immediately, and the end result is just such an amazing, like, to look at the run track on Shadows and know it's over 6 minutes, it just does not feel that long. I mean, I get so lost in this song, and I've heard it so many times, so it's truly a masterpiece, man.
Yeah, and I credit the production to that.
Yeah, totally. There's so many things in this song from a production standpoint, instrument standpoint that I love. Just the bounce of the whole song. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of side chaining, and I think you can tell Tim was really in his element when he produced this song. Like, they're coming off the high of Endless Summer and how well that did, and growing fan base at that point, and you can just tell, I think, from the production that Tim was really dialed, and the song just, it has all the elements of him that I love.
Mm-hmm. Part of the song that I find interesting is the bells at the beginning, because they're almost Christmas-esque.
Yep. Creepy Christmas vibes.
Mm-hmm.
I love the bass.
Yep. Has that bounce that you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Some side chaining there.
Yeah, he's got some major side chaining. Actually, it almost sounds like he's got the attack turned up a little bit, because you don't actually hear the first hit of the note.
Right.
Kind of rolls into it. I love stuff like that too, because he's got a bunch of little sounds. He's flexing all over this track, really. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things in this song is the tom drum fill that Tim uses, because his toms are just goals for a producer. Like the way he has his tom sounding right now at this point in time, going into Heroes, they're just masterful, and on this song they're so thick and ooh, yeah. And I know he works so hard on his drums.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, so beefy and wet.
The instrument he used there sounds like water drops.
Yes.
It's really interesting because of the rain aspect.
Yeah, those one shots he uses a ton all over this song and this album. Yeah, I like that. It's awesome to hear Thomas back on another track again too. I love his solo and just all the work that he did.
Thomas recorded this in Copenhagen in his studio, and he shared it with Tim online. I had heard Tim talk about this, and he had said for the melody, he will send him an example of what he's going for. Thomas will emulate that, and then he lets Thomas do his own solo. So it's a nice mix.
Yeah, totally. That balance between, hey, this is sort of what I'm looking for, the palette, the canvas that's set, and then just do your thing. There's a part in the solo that he does specifically that I really love. Just that's like a 2-note pull off. I mean, clear distinction there between the alto sax and the tenor saxophone. Oh, yeah. He is belting right there. Beautiful.
I want to play my favorite part in the song, which is the vocal sample during the chorus. The way he pitched this from Tyler's vocals is just epic.
So the first line goes, and then it goes into a super side chained part when actually he starts pitching up and down. So yeah, he's pitching everything down, up, all over the place. This becomes a really big sonic thread that we will hear for all the releases moving forward. So it's cool to see where it started.
Yep. So Tim talks about this a little bit on the Silent Studios podcast.
I love taking something, once the vocals are recorded, the drop in Shadows went through sort of 3 or 4 iterations of like, I wasn't happy with it. It was like a bunch of synths, and I was like, is it going to be a sax thing? I was like, it just felt sort of a bit rote. and played out to me. And so it wasn't until we recorded the final vocals I had Tyler's vocals, and I started messing around with sampling him and pitching him up and making new melodies from it. And then that hook that is there now, when I did that, I was like, this is fresh. And I want that feeling where I'm like, oh, damn. You know, you kind of want that. That's what I chase. The way I look at it is, if we're not excited about it, why would anyone else be?
Like, damn. As a prize to the fans for the ARG that was completed in 2020, they gave us a demo version of Shadows that's nearly complete. It's just missing a few things. But if you guys want to hear what it sounds like as he's working on the final product, check this out.
Come to tear us apart.
Yeah, that was really different.
Yeah.
If you guys want to hear the whole demo, we'll link below. It's on the Midnight Wiki. Great resource for information and demos like this.
So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up lyrics and production on Shadows. We had reached out to the fans to get some thoughts.
Yeah. Here's an awesome video that Rob Panico sent in. I want to start off with that.
While the neon was lit by days of thunder and the heat sizzled with endless summer, on a chilly October night in 2017, the cold, dark rain fell with the release of Nocturnal. Hitting the play button, the darkness of the night began to glow with the neon on the blacktop as the gentle rain downtown began to pour, and I found myself looking upon the cityscape from a rooftop. In a plethora of incredible hits, ballads, and bangers, Shadows is my personal favorite song from the Midnight. It transported me to that scenery instantly upon first listening, and continues to do so every time I hear it. Bravo, Tim and Tyler. Rob out.
I love that he put that together. Rob's so awesome. He was there from pretty much the beginning of the Midnight fan base.
Sorry, that video is so awesome.
Dude, it was almost like a trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Rob.
Sick.
Yeah, Rob's been there pretty much since the beginning of the Midnight. He's a super cool, super talented individual. Check out his stuff. Thanks for making that, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Our next submission was from Ryan Jacob, and he said, a brilliant intro to Nocturnal, or as I like to call it, the Midnight Unleashed. Shadows prepares us for every signature sound of the band and cranks it up to 11. Meanwhile, building a neon-soaked city with a much darker tone to its predecessor, Endless Summer. Brilliant. Totally agree.
Yeah. Gingerbeard had said, one of the ways I often deal with my depression is driving and listening to music, usually late at night. Shadows is such a perfect song for that. I can contextualize my depression as the shadow, confront it, and then the warm sax comes in to smooth it out.
I often find myself driving at night to this album, or just the Midnight in general, and yeah, it's perfect for that. Ty had said, Shadows was the second song I've ever heard by them, and it was a song that truly buckled me in for the ride. It's a masterpiece in so many ways.
Agreed.
Totally agreed.
Binkley says, this song ended up being my fave song on the album. I'm not sure why, since I enjoyed Crystalline a lot. Over time, though, Shadows overtook it. I think it's the haunting lyrics that tell a narrative and the atmospheric sound.
Tim Woodruff said, what I love about the album is how unified the sounds are and how they take you on a sonic journey. Shadows transcends just being a song and sets an entire tone and vibe for the EP. With its Foley effects and musical motifs, Nocturnal to me feels like a synthwave suite. Well put, Tim. Me and him collaborated on a song a couple months ago for my producer side project. If you guys are a fan of synthwave music, check it out. It's in the description.
Marshall says, Shadows is one of the songs that I overlooked. I never listened to it until I heard it live. It's such a banger with the Midnight signature sound. The synths are sick and the chorus smacks. It's a well-rounded song. Jesse had reached out to us and let us know that, he made a music video to this, and he has to say, while in the process of making this video, I must have heard Shadows hundreds of times and never once got sick of hearing it. Such a stellar track and album, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this one.
And that's super awesome, and I agree. I've heard this song so many times, whether it was in prep for season 3 or just as a fan beforehand, and I never get sick of it. I never skip it. Never, ever.
Never. No skips.
Project Apocalypse 22 said, "As a man who loves to take late night walks, this song is essential listening. It introduces the listener into a new, moodier landscape perfectly. I imagine this big neon green city that stretches on forever, representing the seemingly endless hole of depression caused by a recent failing relationship. Can relate to that." I also think the rest of this album deals with the temporary rekindling before leaving that relationship and its side effects behind with Tokyo Night Train.
Josiah says, Shadows and Nocturnal in general for me was the turning point in their musical era. This song is perfect for nighttime driving and really paints a picture of a late night walk alone. The synths, the drums, and the sax solo just, man, can't get any better. Yep. Thanks everybody for sending your thoughts in, and that's Shadows.
I mean, it has all the ingredients of a killer midnight track, man. Like,
before we end the episode, we talked about this t-shirt here. You guys want to win one? Well, all you got to do is like this video, subscribe, and post a comment below of your favorite lyrics.
Yep. So we will run this contest for 2 weeks from the day that this video is posted, and then we'll choose a winner at random. We'll reply to your comment to get in touch with you, and we will ship it off to you and take care of the cost of that. But yeah, man, I think that officially wraps up episode 1 of season 3. So it feels good to be back with you all, and we will catch you in the next video. Peace.
Later.
City.